Started. Thank you for joining us today. Looks like we have quite a few attendees. We appreciate your time. So thank you for joining us and welcome to the third webinar in our 5-part series about ArcGIS Online and the local government information model. My name is Michael Clancy and I'll be taking you through the webinar today. Today's webinar will deal with ArcGIS for fire, emergency management, and law enforcement, and the many tools and applications that are available for you free of charge with your ArcGIS Online account. If you're interested in attending any of the upcoming webinars in this series, or if you'd like to watch the recordings of previous webinars, please visit electdata.com/webinars. Today's webinar will also be recorded and available for viewing on our website after today. So just a couple of housekeeping items up front. I encourage you to send any questions you have throughout the webinar. I'll try to keep my eye on those as we go forward and answer them as they come up. If not, we'll try to have a short question and answer session at the end of the webinar. All right, well, I think most of you are familiar with ElectData, but in case you only know us in one capacity, here's a quick rundown of the services we offer, including GIS services, water and weather monitoring solutions, UAS products, software development, equipment rentals, and our technical services, which include repair, support, and training. ElectData Solutions is coming up on its 30-year anniversary. Since 1986, the business has always been focused around electronic field data collection. Technology has changed over that time, and ElectData has always changed with it to provide our customers with the latest and greatest technology, integrations, and expertise. Today is no different. We have our ArcGIS Online specialty rating from Esri, and we've worked hard to package some really great services around ArcGIS Online. So let's jump into the fun stuff here. All right, well, previously we've talked about ArcGIS for water utilities in our first webinar. During that webinar, we specifically looked at using the local government geodatabase to standardize and organize your data structure. We showed some of the pre-built geometric networks available. And I showed the data reviewer tool that's available for water utilities, talked about the pre-configured web maps that can be used in Collector, and I talked about the capital improvement configuration for ArcGIS and its attribute assistant. If you missed that, or if you need a refresher on any of those topics, I'd encourage you to take another look at that on our website. We also, in our second webinar, talked about ArcGIS for public works. Specifically, we looked at using the local government geodatabase again to organize your data. Talked about field data collection and update tools available to you. We showed some opportunities for sharing data both internally and externally. We also showed you an application for collecting information from customers. Again, that webinar is on our website. So today we're going to talk about fire, emergency management, and law enforcement, and the ArcGIS solutions that are enabled for you in these arenas. For each of these focuses, I will detail the data structures available, the solutions that are available through arcgis.com, and some of the applications that exist. I will then provide a short demo of a particular application for each of these areas. All right, well, jumping right in here, let's talk about the fire service. So the fire service is a dedicated data structure in the local government information model. There are several feature classes available to you throughout this data set. It contains a total of 8 individual feature classes, 3 point feature classes, 2 line feature classes, and 3 polygon feature classes, all with their unique use and particular features. For the solutions that are available, a variety of configurable solutions are available on the ArcGIS website, and these configurable solutions range from solutions for creating wall maps for each fire station to conducting fire hydrant inspections. I will cover today the fire hydrant inspection application, and this will be just a web map configuration that you'll be looking at today, but it is also a configuration that is available through ArcGIS Collector. All right, let's take a look at this. So as you can see here, we have a web map available. This web map is detailing some fire hydrants that are located here in Jerome. This is fictional data that we've set up just for the purposes of this webinar. Some important notes about this particular application is you can see that this is an application where we are actually managing work as well as condition of fire hydrants. In the left-hand side, we can see the condition and the assigned status of any of these fire hydrants. So if we look at this, we can drill in a little bit further on these individual fire hydrants and find some of the particular information about them that we're interested in. So this application is meant for someone to use in the field while they're conducting the actual fire hydrant inspections. You can see that we have a condition rating and then some metrics about the operation of the unit. The condition of the unit, is the unit corroded? We have a flow rate. We have a pressure rating. We have a field to determine if there's maintenance required. We have some notes about that particular fire hydrant, the name of the inspector, the status of the inspection. Has the inspection been completed? Yes, and that is replicated by and demonstrated by our symbology that we're using to demonstrate. We have the date of the last inspection, and then we have a location description, just in case, a fire hydrant may be obscured at times, or maybe a car parked in front of it where they shouldn't be parked in front of it, but just allows the fire hydrant inspector to get to the site a little bit easier. You can also see that down at the bottom of this, we are tracking the editing, so we can make sure that we have some control over who is editing these and make sure it's the right person when they're out there and actually doing this. So this fire hydrant has been completed, the inspection is complete, but let's look at one that isn't complete yet. So this one has been assigned. We do have some information from previous inspections. So the condition was rated as fair on this one. It was hard to operate. It was not operating, and it is corroded. So you can see this fire hydrant probably needs a little bit of attention. The flow rate's also decreased on this, and our pressure has been decreased. There are some notes here about what we need to do when we're out there inspecting and working on this fire hydrant. We need to remove some corrosion, clean the caps and threads. There has not been an inspector filled in for this one because the inspection hasn't been done. It is assigned, but it's not out there yet. And the last inspection was just 10 days ago. So we're going to go out and perform some maintenance on this. As you can see, this tool is pretty valuable. It allows us to do some planning and some coordination for the activities that we need to do out in the field ahead of time. We also have some fire hydrants here that have not been assigned. So we have a particular feature here where this is not fully inspected. We don't have a lot of information here. We don't have a flow rate or pressure. So you can see that a lot of the information has not been filled out for this particular feature. So with that, hopefully you guys have seen some of these applications, and you can go out and get some of these applications and download them. These are all configurable applications. You can visit ArcGIS.com and search for local government, or you can go to solutions.arcgis.com/local government and find some of these solutions that are out there. All right, well, getting back to it. Well, so that wraps it up for the fire service. So let's move on to emergency management. Again, emergency management is a configuration for ArcGIS for local government. It can help you organize your content, configure focus maps, deploy applications, and deliver mission-focused solutions, providing a new level of geographically enabled situational awareness. So really, this is giving us an opportunity to incorporate GIS and location awareness into our emergency management. As far as data structure is concerned, again, we have the local government information model serving as the foundation upon which these solutions are built and developed. This emergency management does have a dedicated feature class, a feature data set. This data set contains 15 feature classes, 8 point feature classes, 2 line feature classes, and 5 polygon feature classes, again with their own unique use and information. For the solutions that are available in the emergency management arena, we have a variety of configurable solutions. Again, they're available to download from the local government solutions website. From producing emergency maps to applications for reporting health and safety violations, there's a variety of solutions out there. And I really encourage you to go out and examine these options and see which ones are applicable for you and might be useful for you and your organization. So now I'm going to demonstrate the application that allows you to collect public safety reports. This application of ArcGIS this is an application of ArcGIS that allows citizens and public safety personnel to file reports important to health and safety in a community, as well as provide a variety of reporting, management, and monitoring tools. All right, so this is a really interesting application that Esri has stood up. There's a pretty neat interface and a lot of capabilities here. As you can see, we have the opportunity to proceed as a guest, or we can actually sign in to this application with social media credentials. So this allows us to track and respond to individuals that are reporting health and safety problems, and allows us to crowdsource some more of our data collection. So for this, we're just going to proceed as a guest. And now this is an application that is built for a desktop environment, but this is also responsibly designed, so it will show up and work well with any of the data sets that we have, or any of the devices that we would like to use. So if you're planning on using Android tablets or smartphones, this application will work for any of the devices that we would like to use out in the field. So you can see it's pretty easy piece of technology to use. We've got several options along the right-hand side here. So we can search for the vehicle issues that we have. And this is going to keep taking me back to my Jerome area. As you can see, it's location enabled. But let's say we want to submit a report. So by selecting this vehicle issues, we can enter an incident number, incident name. We can select a category. Since this is a vehicle, it's just going to be a vehicle. What type of incident is it? Let's take a look at what we have here. When this is an accident, we can select the collection time, report time, we can enter some additional information about it. What was the description, the location description? We can enter a particular description. We can enter some information about the severity. We can select a severity description. So what are we rating here? For some of the other ones, we can use those values a little more appropriately. And we have some additional fields here that we can enter. We can also, inside of this form, actually go ahead and select a place or a location. So if you're using this on your smart device, this is where you would select what location you're at. And we'll actually just select to go and use the GPS location by pushing this button. We'll go ahead and report it. And it gives us a notification. Thank you, your report has been submitted. So now we can see back on our main interface here that we actually have a report of a vehicle incident. We can select that and we can see some very specific information, some limited information about that report inside of this interface. All right. Well, let's get back into the presentation here. So as you can see, for emergency management, the ability to incorporate some location intelligence is really powerful, and this was just one application that's available to us. Again, I encourage you to go to ArcGIS and take a look at some of the applications that are there. So moving on, let's talk about law enforcement. So for the final focus area of today, we'll be talking about law enforcement. ArcGIS for law enforcement allows your community to understand trends, analyze the dynamics of an incident, collaborate with other agencies, and allocate resources effectively to protect human life and property. As with the fire service and emergency management areas, the law enforcement portion of the local government information model acts as the foundation upon which the ArcGIS solutions for law enforcement are built. The law enforcement portion of the local government information model is represented again by a dedicated feature data set. This data set contains 9 feature classes, 7 point feature classes, and 1 polygon feature class, sorry, 8 feature classes. So as you can see here, we have individual point feature classes for a variety of different feature types, and then we have a polygon feature class for determining the boundary of the law enforcement area. There are also 3 targeted mobile applications for law enforcement. These applications are again configurable, downloadable, and instituted pretty easily for you within your ArcGIS for ArcGIS Online account. So let's take a look at the local government law enforcement application that I'm going to be demoing today. And this is an application for reporting and sharing public crime data with your community. So this is actually a map that we would use for sharing with the community and making this available through our ArcGIS Online portal or our website, and providing the customers or the constituents, the citizens, some information on crimes that might be happening in their area. There is a broad categorization of crimes here, and we can actually drive in a little bit further and see some additional information. This map will provide your customers the opportunity to view crimes that might be happening in their neighborhood, increase the awareness of the crimes that might be happening, and allow them to be aware and prepare or maybe keep an eye out for some suspicious activity. As you can see in this area, we've had quite a few burglaries recently, and so we wanted to take a look at some of these and what have been happening there. It looks like we've had one on May 30th, on September, and in June. So it looks like we might actually have a problem with burglary in this area. And excuse me for stumbling over my words there. And so we just might encourage citizens to keep an eye out and make sure they lock their doors and protect themselves throughout this. So this is a pretty simple interface, and it provides just an opportunity to share some critical information with citizens and potentially provide them some additional protection and opportunity to gain some more information on what is happening inside of their area. So with the local government solutions for ArcGIS, we also have a lot of opportunity to enhance our understanding and awareness of the situations, the management that is happening in our city, operational insights, and gain some really interesting information about how our city is operating and how we're performing. One of the tools that Esri has provided for this solution is the executive dashboard. This dashboard is a configuration of ArcGIS Online and JavaScript. It can be used by decision makers in communities, and it allows these decision makers to proactively view some of the key performance indicators and monitor their community's operations, construction activities, crime statistics, and a whole host of other critical performance metrics. With the executive dashboard, these decision makers can quickly visualize, share, and comment upon a variety of metrics available. So let's take a look at the executive dashboard real quick. So the executive dashboard is, again, just a configuration. The first thing that we'll do here is we will sign in to this dashboard. And as this dashboard populates here, we can see that we're automatically given a lot of opportunity to interface with different areas of our city. We're also given a news and events feed on the right-hand side of the screen. But going to the law enforcement, let's look at the public safety portion of the executive dashboard. So when we pull up this portion of the dashboard, you can see that what we have here is we have some buttons that allow us to quickly ascertain how we're doing on our performance. So as if the crime reports within the city are increasing or decreasing, these buttons will reflect a green color for decreasing, and we'll also have an arrow showing that the crimes have decreased. We've had a total of 43 reports. Our EMS runs have increased. Our fire runs have decreased, traffic accidents have decreased, and traffic stops have decreased. So it looks like we have quite a few EMS runs. Each one of these buttons provide us the opportunity to select and then provide a heat map on different areas where we're having some increased EMS runs. It looks like we have a pretty centralized focus area here, and so we might be interested in seeing what is going on here. When was this report last updated? Last report was on March 31st of 2011, looking at some example data here. So includes data from February 28 and March 30th. So let's see, it looks like we do have a heat spot here. So if a decision maker is interested in this and they want to go ahead and leave a comment, they can go ahead, select the comment, add a note. and they can go ahead and add their note to this area, and then directly from this dashboard they can choose to, I'll wait for it to load here, and this actually might not work. Yes, it did work. So we can choose to email directly from this dashboard. So I can email this to our support team and say, so we can, as you can see with this dashboard, we can provide some really quick interface and capabilities to share information, analyze information, and distribute this information to key decision holders. So let's get back to it here. So like I mentioned in the beginning, Elect Data does have services packaged around our ArcGIS Online specialty rating. So whether that's helping with the full implementation of ArcGIS Online or just providing some recommendations, or perhaps you just need some training or an extra hand in one of those projects. We know that time involved in getting up to speed and getting the services rolled out can be a lot. So just keep us in mind when you're ready to move forward. Contact us and see what we can offer to help your GIS development. In the meantime, please feel free to look at some of the resources that we have on our website. We also have some information on our ArcGIS Online homepage where you can find examples of some of the applications we've stood up, story maps, apps, and view our local government gallery. I'd also suggest you visit our blog. You can take a look at our online store on our website as well. And you can go to our GIS services page and see some of the different industries we've been working in. And of course, if you have additional questions, you're welcome to contact me directly. You can also contact Allison, our support services manager. So with that, I'll open it up. It looks like we have a couple minutes if anyone has any additional questions, or if there are anything that we need to answer. It looks like we do have a question or two. Okay. All right, guys. Well, feel free to add in any questions that you have. Doesn't look like we have any questions. All right, guys. Well, thank you for attending today's webinar. It looks like we're going to let you out just about a minute early, but if you do have any questions or concerns, go ahead and reach out to me and we can go from here. All right, thank you and enjoy your day.